Hi, Abraham. It's good to be here. I've been listening to your teachings now for about a little over 2 years. And in many areas of my life, I've applied the teachings and have made such tremendous journeys to joy. And I'm thankful for that. And like everybody else, I have a couple of areas where I haven't managed to do it so well.
Before you go further, we're going to interrupt just briefly and say, you're going to like this,
okay,
because your words were so well chosen and so good.
Mm-hmm.
I have applied what I've learned, and I have taken many journeys to joy. And that makes it sound like joy was over here, and you journeyed, and when you got to the end of the journey, you found joy. And we want to say, you can get on the journey to joy now. The manifestation will be a while in coming, but get on the journey to joy now.
Be in joy, in other words.
In other words, it's the vacation story that we're telling you. You don't take the vacation to get it done.
Right.
You take the vacation journey because you want some opportunity to feel happy, not to get it done.
Yeah.
And every journey is that way. You didn't come into this body to get it done. You came into this body to have the experience of motion, you see. And so that's why the universe is eternally set up like it is. So here I am. I give birth to a desire. I don't have that desire. And now I embark on a joyful journey toward that desire. And this desire is just the goal that draws the joy through me.
Gotcha.
Every goal is for the drawing of the joy. It's not to get it done. This is how the universe expands. This is what puts the eternalness in eternity. So you've just got to make peace with the incompletion of your being, you see. So we hammered you pretty hard on something that seemed pretty harmless there, but we don't want you to get to the end of the journey to find your joy. We want you to find joy right away.
Okay. What I want is a clean, neat, beautiful home, and I'm tending to that. And if my teenage stepson has food all over the place,
here's the thing that you're missing. The reason that you want anything, a material object, a relationship, a pile of money, a clean and neat home, the reason you want anything is because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. So what you want is to feel good. And what we're wanting you to understand is that you can find a way of feeling better and better and better and better and better and better about that. And when you do, the universe has to deliver to you what you want. So here you are wanting to be neat and taking action and effort to do it. And here's somebody else who has other priorities, and neatness is not one of them.
Never.
So as you notice that, and beat the drum of it like you just did.
Right.
Never, you said, never does he care about neatness.
Exactly. I do.
Now, what has just happened to your vibration?
I have lost it completely.
In other words, your desire is neatness. You're claiming to be neat, but you've just observed something and compounded it by acknowledging that he's never neat. So now your vibration is nowhere near the vicinity of your desire. And you blame him for keeping you from the neatness that you want, even though you're the one who has it activated in your vibration. So what Jesus taught and what we're encouraging is that you turn the other cheek. In other words, never mind the reality of what is. Let your relationship between where you are and where you want to be of paramount importance. So look for evidence of neatness. Try to imagine that he could possibly have been neat at some point. Try to imagine that someday he might be neat. Watch for evidence. Watch the way he combs his hair and notice how much time he takes. Watch the way he cares about other things. Watch how even though he dresses and grooms himself in a way not the way you would, watch the precision and care and effort and deliberateness that he applies to that, and make mental note of it. In other words, begin to acknowledge that while there are many things that he does that are not the way that you would do them, he is deliberate in his own way, and begin to acknowledge that. And then as you take baby steps in acknowledging things about his neatness or lack of it that feel better to you as you are doing it, you no longer use him as your excuse to get out of alignment with your desire for neatness. In other words, we know that sometimes there'll be some really messy person or some really obnoxious person or some really unlovable person in your life, and when all you want is to love them, and they just won't be lovable, and then you blame them, because if they would be more lovable, then you could love, and then you'd be in alignment with who you are. I want to love you, but you're not lovable, so you need to become lovable so that I can come into alignment with who I am. And we say, feel how disempowering that is, because they want different things than you want. They don't necessarily even care if you love them right now. They've got other things that they are playing to. And so if them behaving in a certain way is necessary for you to come into alignment, you're going to resent them further and further and further and use them more and more and more as your excuse for your own disempowerment. And we have to say, the more disempowered you feel, the more hatred you'll feel toward anyone that you think is the cause of it. Where when you show yourself that you can get feeling pretty good, you can actually find some humor in it, you can
step over the clothes.
You can take huge pleasure. In other words, when your baby learns to walk, even though it's really a wobbly, ridiculous walk, and then it only takes a step or two and falls down, you don't say, "Get up, you little dummy." Instead, you say, "That was wonderful." The relationship between where they are and where they came to is what you're applauding. And you want to do that with everyone. You want to applaud the relationship between where they are and what they're coming to. That baby wants to walk, and you want to encourage that baby to walk. But you don't get to choose whether that baby hangs up its clothes. Or, in other words, there are so many things that you think that you should get to control, where if you could just applaud their motion forward. In other words, if we saw a teenager or a child and they were happy about life and messy all over the place, we'd be so fixated on their happy about life. If you let what other people do be the reason for the way you feel, you are in such trouble, because you can't control them.
Right.
But you can control how you feel. And when you begin controlling how you feel so that you offer a consistent vibration consistent with what you want, then the universe arranges circumstances and events that accommodate you.
Okay.
Have you ever pushed against someone, and in other words, the more you push against them, the more they mess up? Get after a child who's messy, and suddenly they drop things everywhere. They brush their teeth, they splatter it, they spill their milk, they track dog poop on the floor. In other words, things that they don't usually do, they start doing, because you activate within them your discomfort about who they are. The universe will give you how you feel through the path of least resistance. And what's bothering you, and this came up with Jerry often in the beginning too, he would say to us, "Abraham, I don't think I felt that way till that person came into my life and did that. It feels to me like I'm responding to their mess, not that I had a messy vibration that attracted them." And we say, there's the two ends of the stick. When you really, really, really want neatness, on the other end of the stick is really, really not wanting messiness. And just because you're talking about neatness doesn't mean that you're a vibrational match to neatness. And we know so many people who really care about neatness that are a vibrational match to the opposite of neatness, that work all day, every day. They work so very hard to try to maintain neatness because they're having a struggle bucking their own current, you see. So that strangers mess it up. Birds poop on their car for no logical reason. You take your car to the car wash and you draw the guy who doesn't care, and he doesn't wipe out the inside of it in the way he was supposed to. Or his vacuum hose was dirty and he made a bigger mess than he cleaned up. In other words, when you get fixated on that end of the stick, that end of the stick is what shows up in your experience. And that's what we mean by the action journey and the emotional journey. So your action journey is, you got a messy kid living in your house. That's the action journey. And if you let what is be the basis of your vibration, then nothing can change around that. But if you have an emotional journey going on and you do your best to feel the best you can, even though that's what's going on, you do the best you can. The difference between appreciating this wonderful being and being mad at him all the time is the difference between you coming into alignment and getting what you want relative to that.
I would love to be more alignment there. So thank you so much.
So just look for ways. Now give us an example of something that happened and we'll show you what we mean. So you walk in, you talked about his clothes. That's really not so much of your business unless he's leaving them in your kitchen.
Well, yes.
So give us an example of what's happening. You come in, you see that, and you feel how?
I feel...
You come in and what do you see?
I see, food everywhere.
Everywhere.
Popcorn on the floor.
Food everywhere.
Well, not everywhere. food.
You are exaggerating.
I'm exaggerating.
You are exaggerating in order to make a point you don't want to make.
All right.
So what do you mean? Where's the food?
On the floor.
How much of it is on the floor?
Some of it is on the floor.
What is it? Crumbs or peanut butter and jelly? What's on the floor?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Potatoes, maybe.
Big pieces of popcorn, little pieces of popcorn?
Big and little.
So what bothers you most about this messiness?
I guess what bothers me most about the messiness, and I appreciate your humor, what bothers me most about the messiness, I don't like to live in messiness. I would choose not to live like that. I would choose to have my bathrooms cleaned and choose to have the house reasonably in order and choose to have
all right, so
furniture that lasts 20 years as opposed to one.
So now we're going to offer you some options here, just to sort of put things in perspective. I choose a clean bathroom over a messy bathroom.
Definitely.
Everyone can understand that.
Yes.
I choose alignment with source over not alignment with source. Everyone can understand that. I'm willing to sacrifice alignment with source to fuss over a bathroom. Just putting it in perspective. In other words, my alignment with source is my capacity for life. My alignment with source is my allowing of clarity. My alignment with source equals my vitality, my flexibility, my balance, my wellness. My alignment with source equals my longevity. It equals my well-being. It equals my contribution. My alignment with source is life itself. And it is precious to me above all things, even a clean bathroom. And I have discovered that I don't have to give it up for any reason, that I can find a way of approaching the bathroom in a way that I can stay in alignment with source. And when I approach the messy bathroom and the sloppy kid in conjunction with my alignment with source, those things must change. We've never seen anyone effectively guide anyone from a place of disconnection. But when you find connection with source, you are all powerful. Influence, charisma, that thing you call that charisma, attractive quality, that ability to influence people and move them to action, always and only comes when someone's in alignment with source.
All right.
We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. Indeed. You're full of yourselves. It feels good to feel good. You are pure positive energy in physical bodies, and it is exhilarating beyond verbal description for us to interact with you out here on this leading edge of thought. Be as good to yourself as you can be, and everyone else too. Reach for thoughts that feel good, no matter what the direction of them. And if they don't feel good, just try to make them feel as good as they can feel. And if they still don't feel good, just try to make them feel as good as they can feel. And if they still don't feel good, just try to make them feel as good as they can feel. And if you'll stay with it for as little as 68 seconds, you'll have a breakthrough where they will feel just a little gooder. And then pat yourself on the back and say, that was a minute well spent. There is great love here for you. We are complete.